She had bought a ticket for the night train in advance, without telling Maxim, hoping to surprise him with her unexpected arrival. In her hand, she tightly held a small box, a pendant with an engraving inside. "You are my forever." Tanya was exhausted after the business trip, but the anticipation of seeing him filled her heart with happiness. Just 2 more days, and she would become the wife of the man she believed was her destiny. The one she shared joy and sorrows with, made plans with, and even picked out baby names with. Maxim was her anchor, her quiet harbor, as she liked to say. The train arrived early in the morning. Tanya didn't go home. Instead, she headed straight to Maxim's place. She knew the entry code. She had been there often lately. She climbed to the 3rd floor and stood at the door, holding the box in her hand. Her heart was pounding. She was about to press the doorbell when she suddenly heard a woman laughing from inside. Then Maxim's voice. "You're crazy if you think I'm going to live with her. I'm sick of all this. The wedding is just for appearances. But after that, you know how it'll be." A female voice responded. "And Tanya? I thought you loved her." "Loved? It was just convenient. You get it? She's the type you marry, works, doesn't argue, believes everything. That's what you need. But you give me real passion." Laughter. Then the sound of a kiss. Tanya's world tilted. She slowly crouched down near the door, hiding in the corner and covering her mouth to stifle a sob. The box slipped from her hands and rolled across the floor. Everything inside her broke. 2 days before the wedding, and she'd been betrayed. Not just betrayed, mocked, belittled. After a few minutes, Tanya stood up, silently picked up the pendant, placed it back in her purse and left, without ringing the bell. She walked down the street, not feeling her legs. The world around her seemed to dissolve. The wedding, the white dress, flowers, vows all vanished. Only the pain remained, sharp like a blade. She reached the nearest park and sat on a bench. Her fingers still trembled. Inside her a storm raged. From the betrayal, the humiliation, the shattered hopes. People hurried past, lovers holding hands, laughing. The world didn't know that at this very moment, one woman's heart was breaking in 2. How could this happen? I did everything right. I loved. I trusted. I supported. And what now? I'm just a convenient option? Tanya whispered, staring into the gray sky. She didn't cry. The tears felt stuck. Even the pain was too much to express in tears. It was as if her chest was hollow. Her phone kept ringing. First her mom, then her best friend, then her mom again. Tanya silenced it and turned it off completely. She didn't want to explain anything to anyone. She wanted to disappear. Instead of going home, her feet carried her to the train station. She bought a ticket for the first available train, to anywhere. Even the edge of the world. That day, she left for a small town 3 hours from the capital. Her paternal grandmother lived there. Someone Tanya had only seen a couple of times as a teenager. The old village, silence, the smell of hay and smoke from chimneys. Her grandmother welcomed her without any questions, just gave her a strong hug. For the first time in the past day, Tanya broke down and cried. "Hush, my dear. Let it out. You need it. This too shall pass," whispered the old woman. Days passed. Then weeks. Tanya didn't contact anyone. Her phone remained off. Her mother was going crazy with worry, but Tanya knew, eventually, she would reach out. For now, she needed time alone with her pain. Every morning, she woke up to roosters crowing and bells on the goats' necks. Her grandmother served her hot bread and honey. Then Tanya would head out into the fields. She walked along the trails thinking, staying silent, remembering. How he looked into my eyes when he said he loved me. How he picked the ring. How we planned our honeymoon. It hurt. Every thought, a blow. But nature began to heal her. The silence brought peace. And her grandmother's love, unconditional, quiet, simple, filled the emptiness. A month later, Tanya began helping around the village. At first, she just fetched water from the well. Then she learned to milk the goat. Later, she helped a neighbor bake pies. Her hands were busy again, and her mind began to let go. She started writing poetry. An old hobby she had abandoned returned. As if the pain spilled onto paper, and she felt lighter. 2 months later, she turned her phone back on. There were over 400 messages. Dozens from Maxim. Where are you? Are you crazy? We were supposed to get married. Come back. Let's talk. There were voice messages from his mother. Girl, how dare you? You disgraced the whole family. Do you think he'll wait for you forever? He's already seeing someone else. Don't even think about showing up. Tanya deleted everything. There would be no discussion. 3 months later, she returned to the city. But not to her old apartment. She rented a small place on the outskirts. Enrolled in a writing course. Finally deciding to pursue her long-held dream. She started posting her poems online. One of them, written late at night, received thousands of likes. You left when I was on my knees. In my quietest weakness. But now I stand. I know how. And I don't need you anymore. An editor noticed her work. Invited her for an interview. That's how her new life began. Tanya began publishing. She wrote for women who had gone through betrayal, pain, infidelity. She gave them hope. People wrote to her. Thanks to you, I didn't get divorced, or you saved me from depression. She became strong, untouchable, beautiful, in a new way from within. 2 years later, at a literary reading in a cultural center, Tanya read an excerpt from her new story. After the event, a man approached her. Tall, kind eyes, calm voice. He didn't look at her appearance. He listened to her soul. Tanya? I'm Anton. Your poems. I read them every evening. They helped me survive my divorce. My wife left, leaving me with our child. I didn't know how to go on. You're like a light. They started talking. Slowly. No expectations. Just two hearts that had known pain. A year later, Tanya allowed herself to fall in love again. Not blindly. Not desperately. But truly. Deeply. Respectfully. With trust. Anton became her husband. Not immediately. But their marriage had no lavish wedding, no diamond rings. Instead they had. You are my peace. You are my freedom. You are my present. When Tanya gave birth to a daughter, she named her Nadezhda, hope. Because that word lived in her all that time. Through pain, betrayal, tears. And one day, while opening an old handbag, she found the very box with the pendant. She opened it. Read. You are my forever. She didn't throw it away. She simply placed it in a keepsake box. It was part of her past. But now she had a new forever. Real. Her own. With love. With herself.